Yo, watch this. 1% RMR incoming. Why are they actually stuck here? Are these monsters dead? Eh. The guild stash with Wormsies. Yo! Easy! Easy clap. So, that was 12 hours, 50 minutes for going to maps, which is... Yeah, it took quite a while, but it's okay. It's league start. I have done every single league mechanic, so time for some maps. Unique boots. What could that be? Aberrat's hooves, man. Let's go. You guys know that's the same base, right? That's worth a bit. Holy shit. That should be worth a bit. Why is this game so unstable? And it crashed my map. Thank you very much. Oh, what a pleasure to map today. Oh. Let me guess, you're level maybe 90. Can I just play this fucking game, dude? Please. Yo, 4-stack digs. Baited expectations. Nice game, man. Nice game. 4.7k life, tier 1 map or tier 2 map. Are you fucking shitting me right now? Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today, update number 2 on the Forbidden Rite self-cast occultist, which is now more or less a pop occultist, like the good old days with the, you know, with the what is it called, the profane bloom with the obliterations, and it's... I'm gonna be honest, man, I just don't like the skill. I have no idea, man. It's just frustrating to play at the moment for me. That's also influencing this video and the build diary at the moment. Because not only does the skill not perform on the level that I would like it to be, I also get like crashes all day long. I had like 18, 19 or 20 crashes today. I lost a couple of maps and... It's really, really frustrating to play, and that's why I had to stop the stream a lot earlier than I wanted to, because what I'm going to do now is just delete Path of Exile and reinstall everything, and just trying to get a complete fresh install of the game, because it's so frustrating to play this game right now. Anyways, about the build, what did I do? What happened to the build for now? So, yesterday I was like Act 8 somewhere, I think, or in the end of Act 7, so what I did today is just... leaving the build as it is, kill key tower and a full link and stuff. It was enjoyable, so I wouldn't say it's a 10 out of 10 build to level. I would say more like a 5 out of 10, so it's not really special, it's not really fast, but it's not bad either. From the overall comparison to how hard is the game right now, for the questing part, it's not really a big issue. Like, I didn't really feel a lot of difference in Act 1, definitely, because in Act 1 we had a lot of like life changes and stuff for the monsters, but the other parts... not really too hefty. In the same hand, I cannot really say the difference, because this is a new skill and I have like no comparison. Like, is this like, is it hard or is it bad because the game is overall this way when everything got nerfed? Or is the skill just bad? I have no idea, but I did not really had troubles getting into maps. In mapping, it's a little bit rougher, I have to say. So I'm running like tier 3, tier 4 maps. I've like completed like 12 maps, so I'm more or less on the early stages of the mapping. I did do all the side content. I was like Delph until I had no more Azeroth left, right? I did all the best cherry, I ran my contracts, I did the Albert Temple, so I'm not like 100% focusing on mapping. I do like all the side content, and that's why I'm having actually a very good sustain of maps. I have like here like 10 maps, maybe like 20 maps on my stats, so over like 30 maps or so laying around. I can still buy the maps of Sana, which is also very good to do early on in the league, to get some extra maps and some potential map drops. Investment-wise, I found my first Exalt somewhere before mapping. You probably saw it in the highlight clips. And I made about like probably a 30 chaos while doing haggling and stuff and like going into maps, right? So the way I invested my my Exalt plus the chaos, so I probably invested like 30 chaos in the entire gear plus 1 Exalt for this gem at 2120 Forbidden Rite, because it has 1 extra projectile, and I think for the main skill it's definitely worth going. There was like only 1 skill gem for 1 Exalt. The other ones that were in the market were like 2 or 3 Exalts. So I thought like, why not? You know, for the main skill, investing that Exalt early on, I don't think I will lose currency at some point when I'm selling this gem again, for example. Either I get my Exalt back or maybe even more, and when it's the time to do that, the Exalted Orb will be worth more, so I'm just passively generating income. So, where did all the currency went? Into all these items. I have now an entire setup here. The POB is still not updated, so still no new skill gems and stuff. So I'm gonna go over quickly over those things after I showed you what items I bought. So basically, the way I purchased these items are, let's say, I unequip my entire character, and then I want to see, okay, I want to have I have like bought from the vendor the gem setup that I want to have, and now I'm actually searching for those items, right? So I make like the golden rule here, which is like 2 maximum life is important, and then 2 all elemental resistances, for example, right? And this is the crucial thing. Now we do like 70 life, and we search for a helmet, for example, and I want to have at least either it should be an armor base, because armor base favors the red sockets, you know, evasion bases and so on would favor green sockets. So what I do is either I search for the amount of like red sockets that I want to have, or even 4 sockets if you have fusings, or you strictly go to 4 linked. But obviously, with a 4 linked item, there are going to be less results. So what I do, if I want to have an armor base, I just type in like here 1 armor, and it will be an armor base basically. Either it's armor evasion, armor energy, or pure armor. And if I say, okay, I want to have actually a real armor helmet because I need 4 red sockets, I'm just gonna go like, you know, 50 armor or something, or even just go with like 3 red at least. And usually you should always find those. So the way I search for items is, first of all, I have my filters here with life and resistances. Then I go down here and say maximum chaos buyout 3. I think once you start mapping, it's always good to have 1, 2, 3 chaos somewhere this part for every item spent. This is exactly what I did. Only the chest, because the corrupted 6-link chest was more expensive. All the other items that I see over here, that I will try to link in the POB as well, so you take a look, are less than 3 chaos basically, right? So how we can do that, I don't know if this is actually the right thing here. Total elemental resistance, this is the value that I want to search for. So now we basically said I want to have a helmet with red sockets, for example, armor maybe. Let's do 1 armor just so it searches the these things. And what I do now is every helmet will have more than 17 life, and then I just search or sort by maximum elemental resistance. So now all these helmets are armor based, they have red sockets, they're maybe even linked, they have a good amount of life and resistance. So this helmet is really, really good for 1 chaos. Another thing that you can do, what I do for example, is I say suffix modifiers maximum 2. What that means, there will always be an open suffix that you see over here. It has double prefix, double suffix, so there will always be an open suffix. So now I have my life, I have my resistance, and I know I have an open suffix. So this helmet for 3 chaos would have 80 life, 20 cold, 29 lightning, which is already 50 resistance, and then I can craft another resistance on it, which makes a helm for like over 80 resistance and over 80 life, and it has the colors that I need, and that for 3 chaos. And then you just whisper that person and be like, yo, can you do 2 chaos maybe, right? And this is what I did on my entire gear. All this gear is life resistance with an open suffix, so I can craft the resistance. As you see, every item here has an open suffix. So I can always like adjust things. So I'm buying an item, oh, I'm missing some fire resistance. Oh, okay, let's just swap the fire cold into a pure fire. So I always can adjust my items accordingly. That's what I did over here. And for the chest, basically, I was checking what kind of 6-link do I want to run, and I'm searching for specific links over there. So the way I would do that is I want to search for a chest now that has like 2 red, 2 green, and 2 blue. And then I want to have 2 maximum life. And then it should actually give me all these corrupted chests because they are the cheapest. I paid, I think 17 chaos for that one. So here I would just sort by life, and they are getting ridiculously expensive, right? Like 40 chaos, like 1 exalt, somewhere around this part. But obviously you just go down, and I would just buy maybe, I don't think I need over 100 life on my chest. I would go down 25 chaos. What do we have? Double resistance, almost 70 life. This is like a very good buy, you know. Tabula is somewhere around like 25, 28 chaos or something. So this actually has stats as well, and you should always look that you get the colors that you actually need. And this is how I spend like 30 chaos in my gear, plus 1 exalt for the Forbidden Rite. The rest is just the ones from the vendor that I personally, or leveled up with leveling character. So we are currently level 79. I made exactly what I wanted to. I went over here, get Method to Madness, getting like overcharged and the hired killer. At the moment I'm just sticking more life. I have like 5.3k life at 79, which is actually really good. I did my labs. I actually did the 3rd lab before killing Kitava, which is also very good. So it was not really bad at all. So I would say let's run a map showcase, and then I'm going to talk about what do I actually dislike about the build. Let me just put down the volume a little bit here. And yeah, so actually there is a couple things that I don't like about the build. First of all, it has way too much cast time. So I'm comparing this now to a Winter Orb build because I find that, or I think that Winter Orb and the Forbidden Rite are very similar. They're both projectile and they're both like auto-targeting, but the thing is, Winter Orb I can just channel and it will stay on me and I can just run around and just explode the screen, right? While here I just have to like move around and just cast and cast and cast and cast. It's just very slow at some part, right? Another thing that is kind of buggy right now is it seems like that projectile skills have a kind of a bug where they are kind of missing enemies. So sometimes there is a lot of monsters, I'm shooting my missiles and they just don't deal any damage, right? And this happened to me quite often today, and a friend of mine is playing Lightning Arrow and he says he has the same. Somebody was playing Lightning Spire Trap or Lightning Trap or something, and he says as well, everything that has to do with projectiles sometimes just don't hit the enemy, right? And this is super awkward because if you do like the leak mechanic and there is a lot of monsters and you just like trying to kite, like hit and run like this, and you just miss the monsters all the time, it's really awkward to play, right? So for the map showcase, as I said, we're just gonna run basically just run around or shield charge around, and you just one-tap monsters with the explosions from the obliteration went. Oh lol, harvest, the first harvest, and it's okay, I would say, right? But to be honest, for having a 6-link with a 21 skill gem, I think it's actually shit damage. But on the other hand, I'm playing with a life leech support, so that's a dead skill gem just to have an easier time sustaining. So here, boss, I have a separate wither totem, and then I'm just sitting here and just blasting the boss, and as you see, I can sustain it. The boss damage, it's hard to describe actually, because yeah, it didn't look too bad. I'm gonna agree, it doesn't look too bad. But this is a white map, or at least a magic tier, what is it, tier 2 map or something, right? With no modifiers, without Awakener level, and with a 6-link and a 21 gem. I don't know. It kind of... I was hoping for more damage, to be honest. But maybe it's still the thing that is unanswered. Is the way that I built the skill the right way to do it? Is stacking life the right way? Is going power charges the right way? Which I'm not doing at the moment because I need 2 void batteries and they are like 5 exalts a piece or so. So it's not too easy to get early on. But I think once we have it, it might actually be a big difference in the clearing, because again, comparing it with Winter Orb sucks if you don't have AoE, to mention that. So remember last league I played my Winter Orb Slayer, and it was a very, very cool build, super enjoyable, but it also had all the AoE that I needed. And I think that Forbidden Rite works the same way as Winter Orb does. Means the more AoE, the more damage you're gonna do, the more clearage you're gonna have, and the more single target, because this skill is able to shotgun. So if I shoot my projectiles over here, and all 5 projectiles, I think it's 5 at the moment, do hit the target with a good AoE coverage, you know, I think that would be amazing DPS on top of that, right? And the next thing is that I don't like about this skill is the way it kind of works. So it is delayed, okay? So it's not like I click on the monster basically, right? And it takes like maybe a second or so until actually the projectiles arrive, because there is a cast speed, the projectiles travel, and they need to hit. So what happens if monsters are like speed up, you know, when you have like these frenzied modifier or something, they're like super fast. And let's say my golem here is the target, right? And I wanna aim at him, but while the projectors are flying, the monster is moving away and I don't hit it, you know? I think this is something that you can solve once you have like a lot of projectile speed, but at the moment, it's just not really good. I feel this like quite often. Oh wait, there is Oshabi. I think I'm gonna do this a little bit later, but you get the idea what I wanted to say, right? That sometimes you're aiming at the target, sometimes you have the bug where you don't hit, sometimes the monsters are too fast. I had this with a blight encounter, you know, when all the monsters are traveling through the line, and you just blasting, and they're just ignoring your hits because you don't hit them, right? So this is like awkward in that regard, and I think like without having any like kind of like proliferation, whether it's like poison ignite, maybe I'm just used to like these super hefty clear speeds, because if you watched my videos last league, for example, or 2 leagues ago, I'm just a super big fan of spreads, you know, like things like Acid Drain Contagion, Fire Burst was amazing with all the ignite proliferation, with the with this one barracks ring with Everett's hooves, you know, and it feels like even though this skill has a good coverage with the automated missiles and so on, but if there is like the entire screen full of monsters, you're maybe targeting a third of those, and if you're lucky, you get the explosions from like the Obliteration Wand and your Profane Bloom, so you get like kind of a chain reaction going. But maybe also, what if we would add a Herald of Ash, right? What if Herald of Ash would be more like a solution to this entire problem with the clearing? Because, for example, the Bane Pop Occultist, we all know how Herald of Ash works with that combination, but this is not a damage over time build, and therefore I don't think that the Herald of Ash will deal enough damage to kind of trigger chain reactions the way it does on the Bane. So yeah, that's pretty much the state at the moment from the build. So as I said, Void Beacon, the Withering Presence, this makes you able to self-cast because you're going to have an easier time getting a maximum chaos resistance. But all these stuff that I would like to have now, like, I think this build is now fine to go through all these white, yellow tier maps and actually start grinding currency. I think the next big improvements would be either like the Glorious Vanity Jewel to get Divine Flash, because I have already max Chaos Resistance, so I would be more resistant to elemental damage, and I wouldn't harm myself too much with self-casting the Forbidden Rite. Another thing would be dual-wielding Void Batteries, doing the Ubal up and go for Forbidden Power, which would add a shit ton of AoE, and I think this might be super cool. I think the last time I checked, the Void Batteries was like 4 exalts a piece. So we're getting to a point where now every upgrade is like 4 or 5 exalts that I would like to have. But at the moment, this setup works. So it works. Here would be nice, like for all these AoE nodes and stuff like that, cast speed, to have an Unnatural Instinct. I don't know how much they are right now, so Void Batteries, Unnatural Instinct, Glorious Vanity, all these kind of things should probably tremendously help out the build, because at the moment, projectile speed, AoE, cast speed, all of those things I want to have. And on top of that, the extra damage. And I don't think that the plus level of Socketed Gems would be too necessary, because the base damage of this skill is rather low, since you're generating the extra damage through your life pool or energy, however you're going to scale it. But we're gonna see. As I said before, I need to uninstall the game now, so I cannot really test this further. I'm not sure if I'm willing to spend more. Maybe it's just like a bad day, basically, with all the crashes, so I'm kind of unmotivated to play this build. Or if we're just gonna like reroll to like try out Fire Burst, because in the end it is a witch character, so I can still go Elementalist and maybe do some Ignite things. So I have a bit of a comparison, because if I would now try the Ignite version of any kind of skill, even if it's Fire Burst, and it's kind of the same kind of like hard or difficulty that I experience with the Forbidden Rite, then I just know, okay, the game, the game got harder, which is true, right? But the question is still, is the game harder and your skill sucks, or is the skill good and the game is just harder, So it's hard with these new skills to categorize them in, because with the new difficulty of the game, you don't even know how the old skills are working, basically, right? Or performing, better said. But yeah, guys, that's it for today's update. Path of Building link from the current state is in the description below. And yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.